Today is November 14th, 2018. Do the past and the future exist? Do the past, the present, and the future exist with equal metaphysical status? Reality, by definition, is everything. So reality automatically, just by the definition of what reality is, reality contains every state of the universe, every state that the universe has ever been in, every state that it ever will be in, the state that it's in right now. So it wouldn't make any sense for reality as a whole to constantly be changing, because reality is the totality of all the states that the universe will ever be in. I was just having a conversation with some friends of mine, and they said that only the present moment exists, and that reality itself is always changing. But I don't think that makes sense if you really think about it, because reality is the collection of everything. So reality is like the master collection of all the things that have ever been, that ever will be. So it wouldn't make any sense for the totality of everything to be changing, because that would mean that there's a new reality every millisecond, but there can only be one reality. I think this entire universe is one gigantic space-time object that, from a bird's eye point of view, is unchanging. Just like in geometry, the cube is unchanging. From a bird's eye point of view, you could look at the cube and it would just be there. It would be unchanging. I think it's analogous to the way our universe exists. I think all points in time in the history of the universe and in the future of the universe, it's all there as one unified object. So from a bird's eye point of view, you could look down on this whole universe and you'd see the Big Bang, you'd see the extinction of the dinosaurs, you'd see the inauguration of Donald Trump, you'd see my death, you'd see all the events that happen in the future, you'd see everything at once. And one thing I said to them is that, so you guys think that the Tooth Fairy and 1965 are both equally not real? Clearly 1965 is in a different category than the Tooth Fairy. The Tooth Fairy doesn't exist, and 1965 no longer is happening, but it's still part of reality because it's just an earlier point in the timeline of this universe. I think they were confusing the first-person point of view with the third-person point of view. Saying that the present moment is the only moment in time that's real is like saying that my location in space is the only location in space that's real, and no other point in space is real. But that's obviously silly. All points in space are real, just like all points in time are real. Why is it 2018 right now? Why isn't it 1843? If all points in time are equally real, then there's absolutely nothing special about November 14th, 2018, but then why is it November 14th, 2018, and not any other date? It's also like, why am I Tom and not Donald Trump? It's an awkward clash of the first-person point of view and the third-person point of view. Any person's consciousness is only from their own conscious perspective, but from the third-person point of view, all conscious beings at all times in the history of the universe exist equally. So I think it's just like trying to jam those two different ways of looking at it into one, and that seems awkward.